All right. We're going to go with Adam Nightingale. Michigan State's coming off a split at number 6 Penn State. Tough loss on Friday, giving up the game winner with less than a minute remaining, but came back really strong with a 7-3 win on Saturday. So now we're going to take a breather from Big Ten. We head to Miami this weekend for a really big December on tap with Minnesota and Michigan. So to talk about the Penn State series and the Miami series.
Thanks, Jamie. Jamie mentioned we obviously went on the road here to Penn State this weekend. We knew we were going in and playing a really good opponent, one we have a lot of respect for. When you look at the game, I think you can get frustrated with the outcome. I also think we were on the road. We were down 1-0, came back, made it 2-1. They came back, and tied it. We scored again, and then obviously the ending is not what we wanted. I think that's part of us growing as a group too is learning how to close out games. It starts with discipline and the penalty on Gucciardi. I don't think his intent was to take a penalty. He lost an edge and slid into the guy, but that's hockey a little bit, and you got to come up with a kill. And then I really liked our response, and that's says a lot about the group. We came back. I thought we were really good in the first period, the first 15 minutes. Obviously, they ended up tying it up again, and then it would have been really easy for our group of guys to fold or panic, and we killed the rest of that penalty off and controlled the rest of the game. So it was a good weekend for us. I think we continue to grow. We still got a lot to work on, and obviously, Jamie mentioned here we're getting ready to go to Miami, a program obviously an old CCHA rival, a program that has a rich tradition. Just split, on the road with North Dakota, one of the top programs in the country. So it'll be another real good test for us.
Obviously, Friday's game wasn't, not the outcome you wanted. But Michigan State erupted for 7 goals, the following night. Was there like a message as to, what you guys or what you told your team, in regards to, obviously blowing, two goals in the last 7 minutes?
I think the message has been the same, as we just want to get better. So we didn't like the result, but we thought we did a lot of good stuff in the game. We gave ourselves a chance to win the game. We didn't win the game. So we watched some video and areas we want to get better at. And then it's always about your next game. And regardless if we would have won, lost, or tied, we want to keep growing, and we did that on Saturday.
7 goals has not happened around here much in a long time, and I'm wondering what that, it just doesn't happen that much in college hockey. What that, says about you, was it just shots went in, that some puck luck, so to speak, but also what that does for the vibe of a team to put up 7 in one night?
Yeah, I think, when the puck goes in, it's a good feeling for the group, and I give the guys credit because, I think we all watch the games. We get to watch our guys practice every day. I see our guys there. I came in on Sunday, and I think this says a lot about the group. I came in on Sunday. My son had a game at 10:30 at Suburban, so he had to be there an hour and a half before. I dropped him off about 8:45. I went to the rink, was going to do some work, and we had like 12 guys in there. They were shooting pucks. They were working out. They asked our strength coach to come in. They wanted to do a stretch. So to have a staff that's engaged and is committed to that, I think our guys are getting better, and are we going to score 7 goals every night? No, that's not our game, and that's not any team's game, it's hard to score. But I think the guys are doing a lot of good things and they're getting rewarded, and we got to remember that when maybe the puck's not going in, and I think when you do the right things in our sport, a lot of times good things happen.
Adam, obviously you believe in your players and your staff, but if I had told you 6 weeks ago that you were going to be that close to back-to-back sweeps over top 10 teams, 10 in the pairwise, 1 point out of first place, would you have suggested I get a drug test?
No, I guess I don't look at it that way, and I hope our guys don't. It's just, I do think we have a good group of players, and I think we have a group of guys that want to be a team, and when you do that in any sport, and it's not about one guy, you can do some really good things as a group, and so I thought early on you could tell that guys weren't worried about where they were in the lineup. They weren't worried about whether they're on the power play, and it may seem like a simple thing, but I think when you get a group of people pulling on the same rope, you can accomplish a lot. Now we still have a ways to go as a group, want to keep improving, but I guess I never looked ahead at anything, just trying to take it one day at a time, and so far we keep improving.
Adam, to have a group like that in the back, to have a group like that, how much fun is it for you to be able to coach guys that, are selfless and just want to improve each day?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And that's going to be really important to our staff moving forward. That's how it's always going to be around here. And we're going to make sure we recruit kids that are team first people. And I think that starts in the recruiting process, and if you're looking for guarantees, this isn't the spot for you. You're going to have to earn everything you get. And once you establish that relationship and that standard of how everything's earned, nothing's given, then I think the team can do a special thing. So yeah, it's been a blast, and really fun working with this group.
20 goals the last 4 games against pretty good competition. Is that something you're doing technically different, or is it a belief thing?
I don't know if technically. I would say I think guys are just getting better. We practice really hard. I'd like to think that we try to replicate the most frequent moments in the game and just rep those out. And they train really hard. They're like I said, they're in on a Sunday after we just beat the number 6 team in the country. I didn't ask those guys to come in, and I come in and I'm in my office and all I hear is whack, 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 whack down the shooting room. That gets you excited as a coach because that's all voluntary, and when you get a group of guys working on their game and improving. And I think that was one of the messages we want to make sure clear to our guys. Like sometimes in college hockey, you can be, some of the players are a little bit older, 23, 24, and they think they're an old hockey player, and they're super young, and they have so much growth left in their game. So I think truly believing that, hey, just because I'm a senior, I'm a grad, I'm a young hockey player, and I got to keep that passion and drive to continue to improve. And so far the group, has done a really good job of it.
And I know you've liked this team's competitive fire all year, but did they show something to you by losing a gut-wrenching game on Friday and coming back and dominating on the road on Saturday?
Yeah, and I think we have a little bit of confidence in that. I think if you look at the way our season's gone, like we lost our home opener to Bowling Green, then we went on the road and played really well and beat them in a tough building to play in. Our first Big Ten game, we lost 5-0. The next night we won in a shootout against Notre Dame, and that was kind of the message. We know how to do this, we know how to respond, and it's we don't want to not play our best, but sometimes that happens, and it's about your next game, and that's something we really want to make sure we keep with our group. Regardless if we win or lose, it's always next game, let's make sure we're better.
Is that also part of the changing the culture around here? I mean, from the outside, those are games that you always lost. In recent years, not always.
Yeah. No, I think that's when you don't get the result you want for long periods of time, sometimes you end up playing the game, just hard enough not to lose instead of really laying it on the line and understanding that it's truly not about the scoreboard. It's about us playing our best, and if we play our best, I'd like to think 9 times out of 10 you're going to get the result you want, and so we're just going to make sure we keep focusing on that.
In the last year, there are some players who are on this team, and they didn't perform to expectation. Jagger Josh was one that comes to mind. This year he's on pace for like 30-something points. What do you say about what do you say about that sort of growth and development among players that just again new coach coming in and they're just overperforming, or not overperforming but performing better? Yeah.
Well, I think one thing that we did do, we talked to the group. I didn't watch 1 ounce of video of our team last year. I don't think it's fair to the group. It's a different staff, a different team, a different group, and I wanted to make sure everyone knew that everyone's starting with a clean slate. And if you want a spot in the lineup, you go and grab it. And Jagger's a guy that I think, embraced that. And to me, I don't think he's overplaying. I think he's just playing to who he is. That's who he is, And so he can't get comfortable either because we got competition in the lineup and there's guys pushing. And but that's a testament to the group because I think a lot of guys have reached to what they should be as players. But I still think there's more there, and I still think we have more in our lineup, and hopefully we can get it out of them.
You kind of mentioned this in your intro a little bit, but when it comes to going up at a team like Miami of Ohio, what have you seen that just off of you guys working yesterday and coming in that gets you prepared for the opportunity of having another sweep coming up this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we're worried about having a good practice today. We got practice here at 3, so we'll have a really good practice. We'll watch them film and keep growing as a group. And again, I think Miami plays in a really good league. They're going to be really battle tested. And then coming off a big win against North Dakota, like that's a huge and a response from their team. Like they showed the character they have. I know they're really well coached. They have a great coaching staff. They have a really good goalie. So there's no easy nights in college hockey. Like it's amazing the parity. I'm thankful for it because our guys want to be pros, and if you want to be a pro, the reality is there's no nights off. Like you want to play in the NHL, there's no nights off. So thankful for our schedule and excited to go back and play a former rival in the CCHA.
Coach, you mentioned the word team a lot when you're talking about the team, not individuals. Well, how important is it to have multiple go-to guys instead of maybe 1 or 2 on a team effort as you're trying to build this, as it seems like it's happening with this team right now?
Yeah, no, I think having depth is important, and because again, you're not always going to have your A game, and if you're built off just one line, it's hard to have sustained success to the way we want to have it, and so anytime you have depth, that's a really good thing, and our job as coaches is to make sure, to keep that depth, that the competition's real for lineup spots, and that's why I think our practices have been good, because guys understand that, and we got to make sure we keep that. All right, thank you. Thank you.